Packers fans, stay up to date on all of your Packers news this season via our newsletter. You can sign up for the PackersNews.com and more Journal Sentinel newsletters by clicking on the link in the brief field of this video.
And welcome in to the Green 19 podcast, a special edition here on Lambeau Field. I'm Cassidy Hill, joined by Ryan Wood and Tom Silverstein with a pretty background behind us, guys. It almost smells like football, and it feels like we are on the cusp of it. Guys, the Packers start to play a real football game on Sunday. They head to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. A divisional game to kick off. How exciting is that? Ryan, I'm going to start with you. What is the matchup that you will be watching the closest?
Well, it didn't take long for first-round pick Quay Walker to become significant, right? Because when he was drafted in this defense, it changed this defense into a true nickel defense with two inside linebackers who are 240 pounds, can defend the run, obviously run in coverage as well. But if they were going to change their defense for any opponent, it'd be an opponent like the Vikings offense that has Dalvin Cook, but also Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and you've got to stop Dalvin Cook. You got to load up in the box, but you can't sacrifice the back-end coverage. Having Quay Walker next to Devondre Campbell much better equips them to do that than a year ago, than really in recent past, because they haven't had those two guys on the second level. To see that for the first time and see how they're able to attack a balanced offense like the Vikings, that's going to be our first glimpse of it.
Spoon, what about you? Is there a matchup you've got your eye on?
Probably on the offensive line for the Packers, right tackle. Assuming that, let's say, Elton Jenkins doesn't play, which I kind of have the gut feeling that he won't, then it's probably Royce Newman at right tackle. And he's going to have to go up against Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter, and that's a huge matchup. I mean, if you're the Packers, you're probably not as worried about Yosh Nijman, but I would bet they'd be pretty worried about Royce Newman at this point. And even if Jenkins does play, Newman maybe bounces into right guard, and they figure out a way to try to isolate him too. So while he's there, so I would say that's a matchup I'll be watching.
Ryan, with that in mind, Elton Jenkins, David Bakhtiari, Robert Tonyan, all of their status, for that matter, Alan Lazard as well, a little bit up in the air. That's four big names on the offense. What is the key to this game for you? Is it on offense, or is it going to be on the Packers defense to carry it?
I think the better defense wins, and this is the time now for the Packers defense, which is already vaunted. I mean, we've talked about it all offseason, but we haven't seen it. This is the time to show it now. And if they want to be the defense they think they are, this is a game they're probably going to have to go out and win. So the better defense wins with so many moving parts, as Spoon was just saying, on the offensive line, on offense in general. There's a lot of moving parts. This is a game the Packers need their defense to win.
Spoon, what about you? What's the key to the game on Sunday?
Field position. I think special teams will be huge. Which team can continually pin the other in its own territory. I think there'll be a lot of punts. And the team that plays better, it was kind of interesting to hear Rich Bisaccia kind of leave it open, like, yeah, I expect to be good, but it's sort of we're a work in progress. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how they match up with Minnesota special teams.
Hashtag special teams wins games, right? Guys, I know that we are not giving score predictions yet. Those will be in the Green Bay Press-Gazette and Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel over the weekend. But just kind of, if you had to say how you think the game flows on Sunday, final predictions.
Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but I'm a believer in what I've seen from this Packers defense so far. They're going to have to show it, like I said. But if it comes down to a defensive slugfest, this Packers roster is designed to win a game like that. I'll ride with them in the opener.
Spoon?
I also think it'll be a defensive battle. I think it'll be very close. Again, field position will be important. Could be the last team who has the ball. I think it could be the team that runs the ball better. The Vikings have a pretty darn good run game with Dalvin Cook, and the Packers purportedly have a really good run game with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. So let the best run game win on special teams.
Ground and pound, special teams. That's my kind of football right there, guys, leading on defense as well. Well, the Packers will not be on this field for another week for their home opener, but first they will travel to Minnesota, as we said, to take on the Vikings Sunday at 3:25. That sounds right. Yes. Ryan. Yes, Ryan and Tom will both earlier. That's smart. Please be in your seats earlier than 3:25, guys, because they will have full coverage for you all day. Ryan and Spoon from Minneapolis. Make sure you hop in on Tom's live blog as well on PackersNews.com, and we'll keep you covered with all news and updates as the Packers get ready to travel to Minneapolis this weekend. Guys, thanks so much. We'll see you in Minnesota this weekend. This has been the Green 19 podcast from JS Online and PackersNews.com.